if you were not there, you did not hear, we posted everywhere, so you probably heard or saw. We did a Straight Candid workout at Crispin Green, Minneapolis. Marcus was there. He was video recording. He was getting people on the mic, which is something exciting that'll come at the end of this episode as a surprise.
Very soon.
But we got, I don't even know where to start. 100 plus people came, which is absolutely insanity. We were in the parking lot. The best part about this story is we're about to start this fucking workout, okay? We are so excited. We prepped. We got outfits from Amazon. I ordered them. They're orange. We're ready to go. We wake up. We go there. We're getting the workout set up.
We
wake
wake up. We take a nice little
on.
shit. We had some coffee.
Because we were like, I have to poop because I'm nervous.
Yeah.
No, we get there and we're starting. Stop. We're starting. And this woman, obviously, you know her name. She comes up and she's like, you can't be here. And I'm like, what? Anyway, so she leaves. We start the workout. We're going. All of a sudden, we see flashing lights behind us. There's 2 cop cars.
And they take Syd and they handcuff her.
Me, push me on the ground in front of everybody. Push me on the ground. And then I go, please help me. No. And they smack me across the face and say,
kidding.
Quit it.
Quit it. No, just kidding. But the cops
kidding.
show up.
It all started October 16th, 2020. 2 gals, 2 mics,
One straight candid
podcast. Shit. God, it was so good.
It was
so
good
though.
I like it. We'll keep
keep
rolling.
it.
Keep
We'll roll
rolling
with it.
We're rolling with it.
God.
Wow, 1 year.
Oh my God.
This is our podcast, 1 year podcast.
This is the celebration right here. They say if you make it to 1 year, you can do kind of anything.
It's our 1 year anniversary,
our
babe.
1 year anniversary. Look at us.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm proud of you. Look at what we've created.
Yay. We got a little sign up today too. If you're on the YouTube channel, aka go subscribe if you haven't.
Go
a
check it
cute
out.
little flickering neon light, which is flickering in the live right now, but
It is. Oh,
yeah,
weird.
look at that. But it looks
Trippy.
dope. So dope.
We're celebrating our 1 year. It's literally been an entire year. I'm like, can I say it again? We're celebrating the 1 year.
I feel like we're dating. I
know,
like that.
Me too. I know. I don't even know where to begin on this episode. I know where we'll begin, but I don't even know how to like express gratitude for like how far we've come. It's one of the most amazing things. And to say we've been doing it for a year, and to be honest, it feels like a blink.
Yeah.
It's kind of insane.
Yeah. It feels like a blink, but it also feels like a century, to be honest.
Yeah, because we've done so many things.
I feel like we've done so many things, and there's been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of stress, a lot of learning, which we'll talk about later.
We will.
I guess right away we could answer a few questions off the live, or do you want, maybe we'll do a straight kind of moments and then go back, because
actually let's do that, because I like the way we're going to start that.
Yeah.
To celebrate our 1 year, we wanted to tell everybody our favorite straight candid moments of all time. Oh, ours?
Yeah,
Shoot.
I thought that was going to be at the end of the podcast.
Okay, fine.
Sorry, y'all.
Celebrate at the end then. I wanted to do them at the beginning because I'm so eager to read mine, because it's literally my favorite. For straight candid moments though, do you want to start us off for yours?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, actually, no, because I have a topic that will roll off of it, so you have to start.
Okay, I'll start. Well, Joey, my friend on here, just messaged me something, and I forgot about this straight candid moment. I feel like I've got like 4 now, but I'll pick like 1 or 2.
I just missed my mouth.
So we celebrated a friend's birthday. We went out to drinks, like drank quite a bit, paid the bills, left, whatever.
Was
going
this
about
after
this
the
week.
wedding?
No, this is before the wedding. We're hanging out, whatever. I'm running around. It's probably been about almost like a week. I went to the chiropractor, and he's like, okay, this is how much it costs, whatever. And I whip out my credit card, and I look at the credit card, and I'm like,
oh yeah, you told me.
What? I'm like, somebody, and I'm like, this is not me. I'm like, what the heck? Took me like 10 minutes to figure out who it was, because when you're not expecting to find something random in your pocket, you're like, huh? It was not my credit card.
Wait, it had someone else's name on it?
We've been using each other's credit cards. I know whose it is, and I'm respecting their privacy by not saying who it is. But it's one of my friends' significant others, and we'd been... He spent, I have to give this away, he spent almost $300 at Spirit Halloween that he had to Venmo me for.
At least it wasn't like Sex World.
I know, but I'm like,
That would have been even better.
But
But
you were
Spirit
like,
Halloween, you're like, dude, what are you gonna be for Halloween?
I go, dude, what?
Your costume better be fucking epic,
In fairness,
man.
they love Halloween and they have an epic Halloween party,
It
so
better
it's gonna
be
be amazing. But I'm
It better be epic.
It's funny because Jordan had sent me a screenshot of this like Spirit Halloween thing, and I hadn't thought anything of it because he sent it to me and he's like, "Is this you?" And I was like, "No." I'm like, "What do you mean? Is this me?" Whatever. And then I found it like 2 hours later, and I'm like, "Oh,
my God.
I'm like, I
At
thought
least
Jordan
it was-
went to Spirit.
At least
I'm
it was
like,
someone you knew and you guys just reimbursed each other. Or
yeah,
what?
yes, and it's fine. But I just, oh God, that was
I'm
freaking
dead.
funny. It was so random because you're like, what? Why do I have someone else's credit card?
Speaking of Spirit Halloween vibes, y'all, next episode we're gonna get spooky.
It's gonna
So
be
just know we have
spooky.
Halloween vibes coming.
And if you're listening right now, go write down if you've
Yeah.
ever experienced a ghost story at all or anything that you want to share. You have a favorite ghost story, send it, like text it out and send it to us because we're going to
Yes.
pick and read some really good ones.
Please DM and don't send an audio because we're not
Yes.
able to read that and reread it on the podcast.
Please
So
and thank you.
do it. Okay,
Um,
that's a funny Straight Candid moment.
It
I
is.
like
I
that.
have like 4 from the weekend because
I
we were
know.
running around, but
we can kind of bounce off each other because
Yeah.
one of yours is definitely martini.
yeah.
The fact that Syd and me and Syd were like, okay, we're gonna get cute for this.
God.
One of our really good friends got married this weekend, and we were like,
Shout out Callahan,
Yes.
episode 25.
one of our favorite episodes.
We
So
love you guys.
that wedding, I'll probably talk about later because I actually learned a lot from just sitting there and bawling.
It was amazing.
But me and Syd were like, we should get a drink before and we should have some me time. Like me and Syd just want to sit down and chat because we never really get
No,
to do that.
we
Like we
don't.
are busy, and when we have this time, it's like, let's just chat on the podcast.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, so we get together and we walk into the bar right away. We see people we know. So we never got the me time. So let's do that this week.
Yeah,
Little
we'll do
wine
it this
night.
week.
But Syd's like, I'm kind of feeling a martini.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, damn, honey. Okay, I'll get a martini.
Pinkies
too.
up, honey bunches of oats. Extra dirty.
So we both drink a martini. Also, Nolo's Kitchen, if you live in North Loop or Minneapolis, has a really good martini.
Martinis are fire.
And I'm not like, this year I started liking martinis, but it's because of Nolo's Kitchen.
I'm a big fan.
And y'all, I'm really sorry about my voice. I sound sick.
No, you're fine, actually.
One, because my nose is stuffed because the cat's
Here we go. Here we
Sorry,
go.
Yep, the cats
There
are
it
here.
is. Just like clockwork,
But
people.
I have to mention it because I do look like I have allergies on the podcast too. And apparently people like to comment and say I look burnt out.
One person said it, and they were trying to be helpful, sort of, but it didn't
And now
come
I'm
off that way.
salty. Anyways, back to
Oh,
martini vibes. I'm going back
Martini
and forth.
vibes.
And me and Syd both like drink the martini and we walked into the wedding and we're like trying to be chill, but we were not chill.
We did one of those like going to the bathroom, and we're in there for like 25 minutes because
Yeah.
we were chit chatting.
Oh, and then remember
Taking photos,
taking
of
photos
you on the toilet. Like, God, I don't know, man.
We posted a photo of me on the toilet on Straight Candid.
Like, you know, when you talk about like those girls that go in the bathroom and they take forever and they go there in groups
I'm like,
and they have to go to the
and
bathroom
you
together.
can hear them like gossiping and yelling in the bathroom.
No, that was me and you. Yeah,
That was us.
no, yeah.
And then remember when we walked out the bathroom, we're like, sorry, we got chatting. And
And she goes,
the
"Yeah, I
girl-
know, I can tell."
the girl goes, yeah, I know, I can tell. We're like, oh.
I'm like, "Sorry, geez, that one was a quicker one. That was like a 5-minute. That's not even that bad."
Yeah. Okay, next topic.
Anywho.
Did you realize a professional basketball player slid into our DMs? First time a verified account has ever DM'd us.
Wait, what? Who?
It's ever DM'd me in our Straight Candid.
No way.
Yeah, it's in our requests right now.
Really?
Don't you feel special?
I feel really cool.
Right? Okay, last Straight Candid moment. That's
I go,
it.
and who is it? Can we say?
What
No.
was? Okay, so the other day I was on a little walk with my new little puppy. I'm dog sitting my sister's dog,
Lucy. Her ears
and
perked.
this guy comes up to me. You know, he passed me, and then he made eye contact. I made eye contact, and I had a feeling it was going to loop around because he was like holding the gaze a little long. So he loops
Oh my
around.
God.
He loops around.
This girl.
No. Just wait.
Oh.
He loops around and starts talking to me, and I could, I was already on like a walk, and I was listening to sad songs, like probably crying a little bit, one of those days.
Oh.
And he starts talking to me, and I just didn't really want to hold the conversation. So I'm like being very short, and I kind of panic, and I go, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're not my type. And he like looks at me really hurt. So I go like, not on my team. And I just like said that, and he eyes like wide-eyed and walked away. And I was just thinking, like, after that encounter, which I feel like girls go through, this is kind of the new content I thought I would bring to the table. I always feel like I have to like explain why like and give a reason why I'm not interested or why I don't want to like give my number out or whatever. It's not like this happens all the time, but I know it does happen occasionally. And girls are like, how do you say no respectfully?
No,
so when a guy DMs you, for example, what do you say back?
Well, usually I just like the comment, and if they continue to message, I'll just like the comment or read it.
Yeah.
And usually, like, I've had this guy, and he was like, "My bad, I didn't even like look at I didn't even realize and put two and two that you were dating this guy." And I was like, "Yeah."
Okay.
And he I just kind of wait from them to figure it out.
And
but
you can say you're dating someone, but when you were single, like, what did you say?
Usually they'd ask for like my number or something, and I would say like I don't usually give my like number out on social media platforms. Like I just don't. It was always a little awkward, or they'd be like, "Would you ever want to get a drink?" To be honest, I'd always lie and say I was talking to somebody.
Yeah. Okay. That's
honestly
I know,
why do I need to lie?
Why can't we just say I'm not interested?
I don't know.
And
I just am so used. It's literally a habit that I've just formed
and
when I was single, I guess.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
And I'm like a people pleaser, so I don't want to like.
Same.
I don't want to like hurt anyone, and I want to be like, oh, like, I have a boyfriend,
cringe.
or I'm on the other team. Like, what is coming out of my mouth? Like, why can't we just?
Did you say on the other team? Like,
yes.
You meant like.
I don't know. I don't know what I meant.
my
It just like came out. It was
I
after
go on the team, and I was like, I sat there, and I'm like, what
on
does
the
she
other
mean by
team.
that?
I was hoping I was gonna get like a little laugh, but it's fine. I'm moving on. And yeah, I just think we need to start being able to say like I'm not interested.
We
or,
should be able to be
I'm
straightforward.
flattered, but I'm not interested.
Yeah, I mean, it's more awkward, I think, at the bar even too.
Yeah,
because it's like you're already like, I was talking to you just to be nice, and then now it's like we're getting a little further, and they're like, you want to go grab a drink, and then I mean, like, depending on what you're feeling, you're like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah,
and then when you want to walk away, it's like I owe you something because you bought me a beverage.
Yeah,
like I'm like,
why do you feel like
you want to come over to my
something?
table, meet my friends?
Yeah,
no, not really, not at all, actually.
Yeah,
I don't.
Okay, so
sorry.
So here are the tips. Here are the tips that I have.
Okay.
So if it's via DM, use technology to your advantage, and you have to be like, I'm flattered, but thanks for reaching out. But I'm either in a relationship, if you actually are.
Yes.
I'm seeing someone, or I'm taking me time, or simply say I'm not interested.
That's fine. All of those, all of the above are fine. Whatever you feel comfortable saying.
Yeah. If it is someone you've been seeing for a little bit and you just realize like you don't have a connection, just say you want to be upfront with them, and you don't feel like you're compatible long term. Yeah. Always another good option.
I feel like this would crash somebody. I feel like it would literally.
Yeah, but like, why do we feel like we have to explain ourselves
we don't
more
have
than
to.
saying
we don't have to at all?
More than saying we're not compatible.
We don't have to.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know.
If you know, you know.
When you know.
You know. All right. Random dude who asks for your number on a walk. You can either ask for his number and never text him, or
I'm not gonna lie.
I've done that.
The only person that's ever happened to is you. Like that I know.
If you get
on a walk.
Not on a walk, but I mean at a bar.
In general.
But if a guy asks for your number,
I'm like, if you're on a walk specifically, I'm like, I've never heard of anyone getting asked their number on a walk. You're like,
no,
Sophie's like, it happens all the time.
No, it does.
I'm like,
it doesn't happen.
Never
It literally
to
happened
me.
one time this past weekend. But guys ask for your numbers at a bar. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, fair
you
enough.
know,
Okay,
yeah.
fair.
Okay.
I know. I just had to pull your leg a little bit.
But no, I like that. Give me shit, babe. Or you can always say like, find me another way, like Instagram, Facebook. Why not?
Okay. Fair.
And then last,
meet me on another platform.
We just gotta say we're not interested. So that's my new content of the episode. Just a little something.
I will say, yeah, when they're like, "Can I get your Snapchat?" and I'm not throwing a dig at you, Jackson. I swear on my life, I'm not. That's like my instant, like, no, absolutely not.
Is this because Jackson asked for Britt's Snapchat?
Well, I'm saying like Britt was actually like, heck yeah, because they were freaking
but she
cute.
was like,
so,
wow.
but like personally, if I would be like, no, I'm like, no, I don't need to be snapping you. Also, I'm sorry, this is gonna sound really judgmental, but like, I don't like, what is it called? What's the word? Connect with Snapchat very much. I don't. What's the word? I'm trying to find the word. Associate with it very much. Like, I don't need to be sending selfies to people.
I
just don't
understand it.
No.
Yeah.
And trust me, I'm in the era where we use it. Like,
I'll
trust
be honest. I fucking love Snapchat.
I know she loves you, a little snappy snap.
I love my little snappies.
I feel like Snapchat's flirty though.
The last guy I was dating didn't have Snapchat, and I felt like I was missing a part of my life. Like, it was bad. And it's not because I think it's because I like to send voice memos.
Yes,
over text.
Me too.
But it's even better if you can send like with the visual. So I would do videos on Snapchat all the time.
How do you have
'Cause
enough time for the, like
No,
another
that's
app,
how I
though?
communicate.
Okay, fair.
And it holds me accountable to reply because I never reply over text. So I'll be like, I
Yeah.
don't have to hold a conversation. Like if someone says something, I cannot reply, and it's like a quick one and done.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
So
okay.
that's why I
All
like
right.
Snapchat.
Okay.
And
I can see this. I used to use it. Don't get me wrong. I used to use it
Yeah.
a lot. Like I
Yeah.
loved Snapchat.
remember when they were best
But-
friends?
Oh yeah, dude. Best friends on Snapchat broke so many people up.
Yeah.
That was like the savagery.
Or like if your best friend switched, you like send like 100 to someone. Like, just
I'm
to
not
be
gonna
like-
lie, I totally did that.
I did that
Because
too.
oh my god, in like,
Like, oh my
I
God,
almost said it elementary school. In like early high school, I was Snapchatting people, and I had a guy I was talking to that was like
But if
older.
someone gets on
but
there,
then they got up there. So
Ah.
I'm like, Angela, Snapchat me like 100 times, please, please, please. And we like did it for hours, and we're like,
we need to keep our 10-day streak so you get
yes.
on my top.
yes. I remember it was a red heart if like it was something like on your
Oh,
your
yeah.
rank.
No,
if
yeah.
like
And
and
right-
you could see it. And I remember, oh, this is so savage. I would go through people's and see like who their favorites were. God, I was
Oh,
a
yeah.
nosy little son of a bitch.
We all did that.
And see, but like then I would be like, wait a minute. Nicole's and John's Snapchat tops, but John's dating Sarah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
What's
like it would be
funny-
such a drama.
What's funny now is I know you can't see people's top best friends, but if you're like dating someone, you can still see if you're each other's best friends.
Because isn't it a heart?
Because it's a heart.
Is it a
So,
yellow or
It's
something?
a yellow heart, yeah. Vanessa, babe. Vanessa Failer.
Is she your
Vanessa
favorite?
Persephone, yep. She's a snap girl.
Oh yeah, I can like you guys are like I just like you
Yeah.
love that stuff, and I'm like I
Yeah.
wish I loved it. I'm like I just can't get myself to do it.
No, I just like it better than texting, to be
Yeah,
honest.
which I get.
Like, it's just more personal for
It'd
me.
be way more
But
personal
also
and fun.
nudes are fire. Just kidding.
We're not talking about nudes ever again on this freaking podcast
Are you
because I got
kidding
myself
me?
in trouble.
We're talking about it next week.
no,
I almost asked Jordan when he was in the room about it. But
no,
I didn't.
Nope, he doesn't. He knows nothing. He'll never know.
Did you say you're
anything.
gonna take another one and show me?
I will, but I didn't do it.
I've been
Don't worry
waiting.
tonight, babe.
If you
Um,
don't know what Syd's talking about, tune into the
Tune into
episode
the-
last week because Syd talked about an accidental nudie posted on the Straight Candid podcast.
I did a little oopsie poopsie.
All right, so I think we should get into kind of like our Straight Candid evolution, I guess. And I know listeners are on live and they asked a few questions, so maybe
yes,
that
I
can kind of bounce us off right away. What you got, Syd? You got anything for me?
Okay, so let's see. Oh, there. Hold on. I'm still scrolling, but people were wondering if they can get a hoodie. Yes, you'll be able to get a hoodie. I swear to you.
We'll talk more about that at the end of the episode.
Yes, we will. Keep
Okay,
going.
so we had a few listeners write, and they are wondering.
Here we go. There's the. Okay, how did you guys start Straight Candid? What a perfect question to kick off our 1 year episode. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I feel like it's like maybe we have new people here and they probably don't even know how the hell we got together and how the hell this happened.
Well, a myth is everyone
What?
thought we were like really good friends before we started.
Yeah, everyone asked
Everyone's
me that.
like, you guys have been friends. Like, you started because you were best friends. I'm
You're
like,
like,
no, we
no.
actually hardly knew each other.
Yeah, we barely did, which is
insane.
kind of weird to think about.
I'm like,
but
I guess I'll vibe. Like,
I
I
know.
knew I was gonna vibe with you right away. but
we vibed off something at our old job. Okay, so long story short, yeah, you laugh. I'm like, we're not
we
sharing
vibed off
that.
a mutual hatred.
Hatred, not hate. I never hated a
No,
person,
no,
but
no,
just
no.
a scared feeling. Okay, so I worked at the front desk of Alter. I was not yet a coach. I was training. What? Oh, what? Oh, no, not there. And Soph was a trainer there already. And she and I would like see each other in passing all the time, and then weren't you up there in the front or something like that? And I'd
Yeah.
always come in like stressed out or
So,
something.
Declan with Back Pocket podcast,
Yes.
and Andrew would go to Alter. And then
Gotta tell the Declan story.
Syd would also come into Alter. And every time I was working at the front desk at the time.
We both did, but like not same days.
No, you weren't working there yet.
Oh, I wasn't?
You were internship.
Oh, that's right.
We
I was
never
at
worked.
Fallon.
Yeah, we never worked together there.
Oh yeah. Yes.
And I just remember Syd walking in, like eyes glazed over, like looks like she was on cocaine.
I
like
was dying.
just so stressed out. And I would literally see her and I would just feel for her and I'd be like, Syd, you should maybe not work out. You should turn around and go home and sleep.
I did turn around a few times.
You
though.
did.
I did.
I convinced her a few times to not work out. I'm like, can you just go home and take a nap?
I was a little bit burnt out when we met.
Yes. But anyways, so we started she knew Declan and Andrew, and I knew Declan and Andrew, and then they were
the
like,
boys at the back pocket.
yeah, they're like, yo, you two should start a podcast together.
Yep. And I thought, you guys are wacko jacko. I'm not literally signing up when I'm already stressed to do another thing that's going to stress me out. Like, what are you talking about? No. And we started talking, and we started getting to know the boys more, and we'd go to their house for get-togethers, and I went on a networking event with Declan, and it actually was considered a date, which I didn't know. And then you did. In that way that you went on a real date with Declan, I think, right?
I went on an official date with Declan.
I will say we went to Red Cow, and it was wonderful, and we networked the night away, but apparently it was a date.
I smoked pot.
Oh, you did?
And we went to a comedy show, and
you kill me.
It was definitely friend vibes. But I love him. I literally love him. But I was also,
oh my God. Declan's like our brother. So if you knew him,
I know,
yeah. Anyway. Okay. So into how we started this, we started to think about what would we actually want to talk about. And at the time we actually had a third person that was going to be on the podcast with us. And the podcast had a different name. And I think we've said this before on like one episode. It was called the Peach Pocket Podcast, the PPP. Wait, Peach Pocket Podcast. I don't know. You guys don't ask.
This is what the theme song would have been. We are the Peach Pockets Podcast. Just, I made that up, but that's the vibe I'm getting.
That would have been the vibe, and we'd have been like, ooh, I'm so cute. Yeah, like, no, that's not our vibe.
Are we feeling peachy today, ladies?
I can't even, like, no, it's so fake. So anyway, we decided not to go the route. This other person had other like work stuff that they were doing. So it was just Soph and I, and we realized, yo, this is not our name. This is not, we got to go back to the drawing board. The one thing we promised when we were starting this podcast is no matter what, it was not going to be fake. It was going to be as real and as raw as we could possibly make it. And it was going to be candid. Yeah. And then we thought of the word candid, and all of a sudden things started kind of falling into place.
I still remember, so I was working full-time at a co-working space called WeWork.
Yep.
And you were working at your full-time job.
I think Bright
too.
Health. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
And over my lunch break, we had a Zoom meeting.
Yes.
And I remember exactly what room. I remember exactly what room I was sitting in.
Same.
I remember exactly, like, we did all these little like brainstorming ideas together.
Yes.
And the boys are like, yo, are you guys gonna fucking start yet?
Like what, you starting this week, or
can we start? And we're like, me and Syd would meet every day, like trying to iron it out. And then finally we're like, okay, we have enough substance here. And after that meeting, it was all clear that we just wanted to have a podcast where we are ourselves and we're not faking anything. I'm not faking being more intelligent than I am. I'm not faking feeling a certain way, which is the best part of this podcast is I show up here and you guys fucking know if I'm having a bad day.
Yeah, everybody does.
Like you can feel it, you can hear it. You're there with us through all the ups and downs, and like that was kind of the point of it all, is like me and Syd having our casual conversations, but then also bringing in guests to kind of bring a new perspective. And that's when it all came together. And that was the most rewarding part for me, is like finally just hitting record and like sitting down and doing it. Yeah. And it was scary. It was scary at first.
I was scared shitless.
If you listened to our first episode, baby.
Oh my God, you should go look at my hair in episode 1. Like, just go look. I was stressed. I showered. My hair was half wet. I was it was sweaty. Yeah. And like, so I just look like I have an afro, and it's hilarious. Yeah. But I remember when we first recorded, and I remember we stopped it, and it was kind of like, wow, that just kind of flowed. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, that's how it happens. And then they're like, all right, we're going to release it. And I was like, no, God, please. Yeah. Wait, can we cut that part? I think I said penis. Yeah. Like, so scared of like life and like everything.
We had some setbacks at the beginning.
We had scaries, I had scaries really intensely, but there's a background to that. This is the first time I was able to like speak my full truth. Like, my friends know me. They know I've never been different, but I'm not going to lie and say that I wasn't afraid of social media and what other people thought of me. I was a people pleaser. Like, of course I cared about what people thought of me and if they liked me. And for the first time ever, I leaned so far into what I'd hoped to be, but what I was not at all. And which was like not giving a fuck and just going for it. And it's been the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my entire life, ever in my life. And you helped me get there because you were like, no, this is not something that you can't say. You can say that and it's not going too far. You can say that. And I had to like train myself like, oh, I can. I'm like, that's not too
say the
much.
Word penis?
I can say penis. So it was just like, I needed, if you wouldn't have been there, I would never have gotten there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, same goes to you. Like, I've learned, we started this like trying to find a balance between the two of us. And we're like, I was going completely the opposite direction, trying to be like, let's talk about sucking clits and vaginas and penis all the time. And Syd's like, no, I want to talk about business and finances
and helping people.
Yeah. So like you were trying to go one way. Like I obviously want to help people too,
Yes,
but about penises.
Yes.
So we were trying to like balance each other out, and we felt like this conflicting interest. But what we found out is like, that's why this is successful, is because it's like we kind of meet in the middle.
Always.
You kind of balance me out and I balance you out. And then we have an arsenal of content that is all ranges, which is one of the one of the reviews that I was going to read today is talking about
like all the variety of the topics.
The variety of topics. And that's the point of this. It's a variety of topics, but it's coming from two average girls who like
we
don't know everything.
I'm not a doctor. I'm not any sort of like success leader in anything. Like I went to college. Like that's about as far as I got. 2 years under my belt in the career. Like I'm just going through life with you guys and everybody listening. So why don't you? I want to hear this. I haven't seen this one. Will you read
it's
it?
not as relatable as I thought. I was going to read it maybe at the end, but I'm going to read it now. So
yeah,
listener wrote
anyway.
in rating and review. Can we turn up my mic a little bit too? Okay.
Just a hair?
Just a hair. Okay, 5 stars. Thank you, Minnie545. Prior to listening to this podcast, I was going through a pretty rough patch in my mental health and my anxiety. I was feeling lost, and as though I couldn't talk to anyone about my feelings, I stumbled across this podcast and was interested, as I am a Minnesota native. After bringing many episodes that talk about mental health, many episodes that talk about mental health, body positivity, relationships, sexual health, and just hilarious stories, I realized how many women actually go through a lot of the same anxieties and situations, and hearing different takes and advice really benefited me on learning what works best for me. Syd and Soph are beautiful, genuine, unfiltered, and still radiate loads of confidence. They are amazing girls to look up to and have created such a good community with women listeners who all can relate to each other in one way or another. That rhymed, LOL. As cheesy as it may sound, this podcast has had a very positive impact on my mental health, and I've learned how to cope better and have built my self-awareness, knowing that many of us have the same feelings and experiences. And that like encapsulates like the reason why we legit started this podcast.
Yeah, I felt like I was reading my note to like why I'm doing this when we wrote our whys down.
It's like we want to be funny, we want to have fun, but the goal is everyone at the end of the day, we're all just trying to, make it in this world.
We're just trying to like
be a good person. And
sometimes it's crazy when I go back and I think about the early episodes and like even to like midway through. Think about it. We're at 48 right now, so like almost 50. Thinking even back to like 25.
The first 15.
First 15
were rough for
us.
They're
rough. They were intense. There was drama. There was me thinking that Jordan was going to dump me for things that I was saying. Me having anxiety that my family wouldn't approve of me saying all these things on a mic. Losing friends maybe because I was talking about things that are a little more taboo. What else? Being judged on things.
Did any of that happen?
None of my fears came true. None of my fears came true. In fact, Jordan knew who I was even further, and that's why we're a success right now. And we learned about each other. Here's the thing. When you start a podcast or you start anything with a friend, this is how it goes. It's like bum, 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 bum. You're literally trying to climb up this ladder to get higher and higher, and you're butting heads, and it is just like, you're like, why can you not listen to me? Why can't you listen to me?
But we never talked like that.
No, we never did. But
we
in
did
your head.
We did butt heads.
We totally did.
People never heard that side of
it.
Ever.
Nope. We definitely did. 100%.
We definitely did, because we were on opposite pages, but that's it was trial and error. Like we had to have a lot, like the amount of anxiety I'm thinking about of our long audio messages to each other.
Scary.
But we were always respectful of each other.
Always,
no matter what happened, like we always were respectful. And to be honest, we even had like a mediator that kind of helped us through it a little bit.
We did.
It's almost like if you're business partners with a best friend, you have to figure out each other's work styles. Syd is more, listy, analytical. She wants the backup stuff, and I'm more like, I feel like this today. I think we should do this because it sounds fun, or so we check each other.
It works though.
It does.
You got to keep trying though. It's like anything else. If you let it fail, that's on you. No offense.
Yeah.
Like you have to keep trying, giving the effort, and swallow your pride. Like get rid of it in this situation like this. Like,
and we both were able to do that.
Yeah. Like even if you think you're right on something, like get rid of it. Meet in the middle. Everything's gonna be fine. And here we are, better than ever. It's seriously better than ever. Like don't. It's.
I was gonna say
crazy.
I feel really close to you lately.
Yeah, same.
Like It's crazy.
It's like polar, like it's just
Yeah.
weird. You can start one way, you can butt heads, you can go further away,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden we just came,
And
and
you
here
know,
we are
you can kind
drinking martinis
drinking
together.
martinis. You can kind of tell too, like when our podcast started to get really good and go viral a little
Yeah.
bit more is when we were good too,
Yeah, I
which
know.
is kind of crazy.
It is weird that when we vibe
Yeah.
that it gets better. Okay, wait. Should we answer another question? Sorry, that was our long-winded why the heck we're here
Yes.
and what we're doing. I
I
gotta
kinda
scroll. Hold on.
The only other question was, what are you most proud of?
Oh,
Which I think we can talk about one of the events, obviously.
Mhm.
Also having just like,
sorry, everyone has to see me like this in
Yes.
the live stream. By the way, I'm just reading everything.
I kind of want to talk about what I've learned.
Yes,
How
and
about,
then how about what we have learned and then what we're most proud of?
okay, yeah.
Is
So
anyone
what
still
I've
sore?
learned this past year of my life and this podcast has taught me probably a decade worth of lessons. Like the past year in your 20s, I guess everyone listening, if you are, mid 20s, even if you're upper 20s, but if you remember your 20s, each year literally feels like a decade.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like in terms of how much you learn, how much you change as a person. Like I am not the same person I was when we started this podcast.
No, me neither.
I
Not
used to
even
think I
close.
didn't actually care what people thought about me. I was like, Syd, like let's just do whatever. Let's have fun. Like I don't care what people think. Like let's do it. But I think in reality, I really cared what people thought.
Yeah,
And you can think you believe a certain thing, but it's your actions that are actually playing out who you really are.
exactly.
And for me, when I started this podcast, like I did it on top of everything I was already doing, and I really wanted to make an impact. And for me, I wanted to grind. I wanted to make a name for myself. I worked extremely hard this past year with everything that's been going on in my life. But the past 2 months, I've realized, so this past year, like I have been selfish. And part of that is me trying to, make enough money, get my name out there, succeed with this podcast, succeed with my Barry's job now, succeed as a personal trainer, succeed as a friend, a family, like all these random things that I'm doing. I realized like I put a lot of important shit on the back burner, and the past 2 months is honestly when it kind of came to light, mostly because I think I've realized that I've let a lot of like friendships even dwindle this past year. And it's really heartbreaking that I let that happen. And I think part of this is because I'm a perfectionist, and I'm getting like goosebumps because it's kind of emotional because I'm like sad that I let it go this far. And you guys have heard it, which is crazy. You followed along this entire journey with us, and like, the episodes that I come and I'm like, y'all, I can't really talk. I'm a little burnt out. Like there's been so many episodes where I'm like, thank gosh we have a guest on, like, so I don't have to talk. And like, I want to thank you, Syd, for being there through like my mental health ups and downs, because
Of course.
yeah, because like
heck?
it's
Where else would I
hard.
be?
And this past weekend, even I told Syd we were at a wedding, and obviously we were both a little drunk and emotional,
Yeah.
but it all boils down to like the impact that you
Mhm.
leave on the relationships around you.
Of
And
course.
if I were to die tomorrow, I'm like, wow, I need to make sure that I'm having the most meaningful connection with the people around me that I can possibly have, because right now it's like I need to reach. I literally texted a lot of friends on Sunday just thinking
Mhm.
about the relationships that I want to make with people and like create and
Aw.
keep. And so this next year, this next season of Straight Candid, my
Yep.
goal is to kind of reprioritize. If that means like stepping back on certain things, like I need to do that because I've let a lot of things go to the shithole,
Yeah.
and I need to reprioritize. So
I'm proud of you though. You've come a long way though.
I know.
You really have.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Thank you.
It's exciting to have a new beginning too.
Yeah,
It is.
It is.
And nobody's gone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like no friends are gone. Even
Mhm.
if you've dwindled away for a little bit, you can always bring it
Mhm.
back. Always. Like I would say my biggest advice for when you're rebuilding friendships.
because you're good at like making time for like random cocktail hours with your girlfriends. Or
yeah.
I literally hit Friday and I'm like, y'all, I can't. I gotta stay home. Like
I know.
I'll text you, but I can't do it. I'm burnt out by Friday.
I get it. No, I've been there 1,000,001 times, and sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I pushed through and I just pretended like I was fine
Yeah.
when I wasn't. But I've just started to realize what the friendships are. Lucy's barking in the background. What the friendships are that actually mean something to me. Like, what am I fulfilled doing, or am I doing something with you? And like with that person, like with you, it's like we have our podcast. We have this community in
Who can
Minneapolis.
fill your cup?
Yeah, like you are in my circle because we have something special, and then now we have a friendship that's special. Like, you know what I mean? You have to like. I want to be in touch with every person that I possibly can, but sometimes I have to just not. Like, I just can't. Like,
You have to figure out who will fill your cup, who's
Yes.
meaningful, important to you.
it's not against anybody.
Yeah.
It's not against any of that. It's just the closeness that we're at right now. I have to be okay with saying no and letting that space happen. I will say, like, it's hard because a lot of my college friends get together even more than I do, and we're all so close that like if I miss one thing, I feel like the shittiest friend ever, and I need to like let that go. Like, we were at the wedding and it was a friend's birthday and I was supposed to meet them at the loop. Went and waited the line in the loop. It was way too long. I went home. I'm like, I'm fucking burnt. I can't. Like, I can't wait in this line. I felt bad. It's one of my really good friends' birthdays. Like, you just have to like give yourself grace, one. And when you get those spaces with those people that you're like, I really want to be close with you again, I bet you money that person's thinking the exact same thing on the other line of that phone, and all you got to do is pick up that phone and send a text or a voice memo or a call. Because I'm going on a rant, but I've told Taylor this too. Is my sister is like, when you feel like a friend is drifting, think about the effort that you've put in with that friend. Have you matched the effort that they've given back? Or let's say you feel like, hey, I feel kind of lonely right now. It's like, well, have you been outreaching to other people? No. And likely the other people haven't either, because they've been feeling lonely. So like, when you have an emotion, likely there's emotion on the other side of that line. And you just got to lean into it. And I guarantee you, every person will be receptive, unless you've got like a horrible past with this person or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So
it's like I didn't do anything
not with
those
those people.
Friends.
Just meant
it's
in
like
general.
I just need to prioritize it.
And that's
like
okay.
I told you a couple weeks ago too, it's like, when you spread yourself too thin, for me, it felt like I was giving 50% to everything I was doing. I could never.
It's the worst feeling.
I couldn't please anyone because I was always one step behind. Like, I wouldn't text back on time. Everything I was doing was 50%, and no one was getting my 100%. No one in my life, not my mom, not the person I'm dating, no one receives 100%. And I'm like, it's because my cup's empty. And I want to be able to give 100%. When I sit down at this podcast, I need to be able to give 100%. When I'm sitting at a social hour or I'm at a wedding and I'm having a conversation with people, I need to be able to be listening instead of being burnt out. Like, for example, when we were at the wedding last weekend, like, I think a lot of people with mental health or anxiety can relate to this, but when you're chatting with someone, it was like I was doing my best to be in the moment and like listen to what they were saying, but like I felt my body just like I was like floating over it and and watching the conversation instead of like being there and listening and enjoying it.
I've been there.
All I wanted to do was go home and sleep. Not until obviously the beginning of the wedding, I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I was like really enjoying the moment.
We had an amazing
but you know,
time.
later in the night, like you probably felt it, you probably saw it. I was just like,
you kind of faded.
I faded.
That's what happens.
Because I'm burnt out.
You gotta hit these points of burnout in order to change something anyway. Like, that's when I know, like, I've hit a point of burnout in a part of my life. I'm not going to share it yet because I just don't think it's appropriate yet. And I'm making changes as we speak right now and burning myself a little bit more out to get to the other side of that, like being less than.
You will get that breath of fresh air.
I'm
like,
going
you know
to.
it'll be worth it.
It's literally right there, but I can't reach it quite yet. But I know it's there, and that's why I feel okay with it. Also, it's normal to go through weeks and just be like, this week I feel like shyster. I feel like shit. Like,
what happens to me is Monday I feel good, which thank God we record podcasts on Mondays.
Thank God.
But then Tuesday, my cup's a little empty. Wednesday, a little more empty. Thursday, it's all gone. But I push through. Friday, I have a freak out, panic attack moment. And if you were working out with me Friday, you know who you are, Alicia. Alicia, Croy, and who else? Oh, and Allie.
Oh, the Friday crew.
Yeah, this is when I FaceTimed you, and I was... That was...
Wait, oh, sorry.
Wow.
My neck.
When I FaceTimed you, the panic in my voice.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Unwell.
And I was like, we're not going to have a convo if you can't calm down. That's not... And I didn't mean it in like an anxiety way, but I just meant like a...
I was having
feel
anxiety.
yourself right now.
And I did have a few people reach out to me when I posted on Straight Candid this morning about the therapy that I've been going to. they're like, how do you find a therapist? Go to betterhelp.com.
Oh, yes,
I mentioned
yes.
it once, but I'm going to mention it again just because it was so easy. BetterHelp, you can find a therapist that like matches you completely.
It's amazing.
You take a little questionnaire and it's very, very affordable. So if you need a little tip.
Check it the hell out.
Syd, what have you learned?
Oh God, where to freaking start? I swear to God. I wrote down a few things that came to mind when I said what I've learned. Well, first of all, I've learned that you can build a community off of absolutely nothing and just believing that you want to build a community. That's one thing I've learned. I've learned that I can speak my mind, and and it's a good thing.
Yes, you can, bitch.
And people listen. Apparently, I don't know why, but apparently I've got shit to say, and I've always thought I want to be like maybe a public speaker or maybe a life coach in a larger setting or something. And I finally can lean into what I want to do. And it all kind of starts coming together once you just put your mind to something that you like to do and you open your mind up just a little bit more than you usually do. Like if I would have never started this podcast, I'd never be as comfortable with public speaking. I'd never be as comfortable leaning into that and who I am as a person. This is who I am. Like you see it. Yeah. I'm not as put together as I sound though. Like I sound like I'm put together and I'm not. I got fucking shit.
Syd's good at giving advice, but do you take advice?
Sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
Sometimes I do.
Okay,
but
like I'm like, calm down, get therapy, and I'm like, I go home, I'm like, I can't fall
breathing.
asleep.
I'm like, me laying in bed. Jordan can always tell because I'll go,
yeah.
and he goes, why are you sighing? What's wrong? I go, I'm not sighing. I'm
taking a
opening my
deep breath.
lungs up because my lungs are tight as hell. Lucy, she's the little pupper
That's
sitting
called
by
anxiety, yep.
me. But I said I never should have given a shit about what other people's opinions are. Don't be afraid to be yourself in a job while still being professional.
This dog never barks, and
I
now
know,
she's barking.
she's probably like,
Take
I
a
want to go
seat.
outside. Don't be afraid to turn things down. Notice those who support you always. Those people are your people. Sweet girl. I don't know. I wrote all those things down because those are what like resonated with me because I have the best people that support us in our podcast, the best people who genuinely support me. And it's almost like right when you think like you don't have these close friends, they're sitting right there.
Yeah.
I knew that I had them, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying like they're sitting right there. They're cheering you on. They're at the workouts. Like they're just your people.
Yeah.
And then you form another group of people with you and Jackson and Marcus and Adam and Andrew. Like it's like your circle keeps growing as you get curious and as you do things that you actually make you more you.
If you're listening and you are thinking of starting something, maybe it's a side hustle, maybe
anything,
maybe it's a business, maybe it's you're gonna quit your job and look for another job. Syd and I started when we weren't ready.
Nope.
Like we definitely took a long time brainstorming, but you just have to start. It's not gonna be perfect.
Gotta go.
It's trial and error. You start and you adjust as you go.
Yes.
That's how it works. And if you sit there and wait for it to be perfect, you will never start. So if you're listening and you're like, I really wanted to start a fashion blog or a fashion Instagram, like do it. Just do it.
Just go. Just do it.
Yeah.
I'll give you this mini of way I felt through this whole year. I would say I started in a really okay place. I would say really confused place. To be honest, like first time ever getting over the person I loved for like 6-7 years and seeing somebody new, Jordan, and starting something new and then being afraid of ruining it, yada, yada, yada. So I just started going down, and I stayed in this like low lull, like down here, probably through like most of the first episodes, like excited we were starting, didn't really know what we were doing, didn't know if we even like, it was even going to do anything. I believed it, but I just like, I had to see it for my own self. I'm such a realist. And then all of a sudden you hit these trajectories of going up and you're always going to dip and have those shitty weeks or whatever. But really like I'm in a way better spot than when I first started this podcast. Way better. I also know way more about myself. I'm also not like afraid of things. And here's the thing. TikTok, haters everywhere, right? I don't give a fuck about you, little hater. I don't give a flying fuck about you, little hater. I don't care. I do not care.
You want to know what's funny is we used to post on, our socials and we're like, oh my God, people literally hate us. Yeah. But now guess what we do when we find social grabs for TikTok, we go, oh, the TikTok boys
They're
will
gonna
hate this one.
They're gonna
eat it up. And then every single boy is commenting, man haters.
No, they go,
I hate you all. And we're like, well, thanks for commenting. Thanks for the engagement.
If only women knew how hard it is. If only women would work a little harder or like, or some weird woman. This woman commented on my video about me swimming and as a mermaid. She's like, I would take drowning more seriously.
Like, are you kidding me?
That's really funny because I actually was like a lifeguard and like, no, everything's okay.
It's just
I lived
so
on a
funny
lake.
because
You're all right.
you used to be so afraid of hate comments, and now we post
Yeah.
TikToks in order to get hate comments.
Because it's freaking free marketing, baby. Let it happen. Let it roll.
Let it roll.
I don't know. That's my learnings. But I will say, what's the one thing that you're most proud of? Because I feel like that was the other question we should have answered or wanted to answer.
I kind of hold on. I had another train of thought, which is why I'm
sorry.
like pausing. You said I just want other people to know that like you don't really know when you're in your lowest. Like when we started the podcast, you didn't know your low is your low.
No.
But now you know it's your low because you're high.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to have those phases in life. And to be honest, like right now, I feel pretty low.
Yeah.
Like I feel very proud of what we've accomplished, but like mentally, like there's so many things that I want to work on and so many realizations that have happened this past year. I also just want to normalize that like this little like bump in the road for me right now, the way I'm feeling, the way, you know, I think it's probably because like one, I just really want love. Like that's kind of down on me right now. I also really want to like find a balance and work to life, and I'm still working on that. This podcast is amazing, and I do enjoy coming here, sitting every Monday. And I think you just have to accept the fact that when you're in those low phases, like you have friends and families to support you, and that's why it all comes back to those relationships.
Always. Yeah. Always. It's the core relationships are the most important thing. Just take care of them. I wrote something down. It said, don't give your best people in your life your leftovers.
That's what I was doing.
That's what happens. That's what happens. I've done it to my parents too. And it's like, you feel like the guiltiest. Why not fix it? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to call my
love that,
grandma. I
though.
just realized that.
I know. I need to call my grandma back too.
I'm going to text her tonight. Don't let me forget.
My grandma gives me so many unsolicited advice. I can't. Yes, I will.
Can we have your grandma come on too?
We might have to
Share
bleep
story.
like half of the episode though.
love
Yeah,
it.
she's a little crazy.
Okay,
I have to correct her. You know what I mean?
Proudest moment.
She'll say a fuck to like the Starbucks lady. Okay.
My all-time proudest moment was when we hit top 20. And
I could throw up.
we hop on. All of a sudden, we get a FaceTime from Andrew. It was a group FaceTime.
Yes, I remember.
Declan pops on. You pop on. And we just scream for a good 10 minutes. Like,
yes.
And hitting that top 20 was such a mile marker for us because it
was
allowed us to like, I have goosebumps right now. We're like, this is something like we can make something of this. It allowed us to like get noticed, I guess. So like we had all these companies since then like continue to reach out. And ever since then, we've just had more opportunities. We've built more of a community around Minneapolis.
Yeah, that's the biggest part.
So when those TikToks pop off and people enjoy episodes and it reflects in analytics, like, that's my shit.
I have like 7 moments. I'm just gonna list off the biggest ones. That one was huge. Duh. Like number one. Are you kidding me? When we secured Bud Light for sponsorship, that was like insanity.
I cried
Felt
so
insane.
many times.
I know. I've cried so many times.
I called my mom like,
I know. You're like, help me.
Making that media kit for them. Like there's a lot of work that we put in.
Oh my God. Like, yeah. The class when we did our first ever workout class and then people showed up. You're like, what? You actually came? You heard about this? They're like, okay. Cool.
They're like, Syd, how's the mouse of your apartment? You're like, you know
I know.
me?
I'm like, what the fuck?
You know me?
Wait, did I tell you the story? Oh, Jordan. Oh my God. I have to say this because that's a random thing. But Jordan was golfing the other day. Okay. He's a golf psycho. It's, summer's almost over. He's almost done on the course. He's going to be home crying. No, but he was on the course and this girl was like, talking to him because it was a tournament. She goes, hey, wait, I know you. And he goes, what? And she's like, you're Jordan. You're Sydney's boyfriend from Straight Candid.
That is also my proud moments. That is also my proud moments.
Same. That's what I was going to say. That's what I was getting to. And he was like, he literally comes home. He's like, what the fuck? This girl knew me? He's like, what? That's insane. I'm like, yeah, it is.
To be honest, like I need to descale this because it's like makes it sound like, oh my God. But I used to always want to be like a Hollywood actress. And when like a random person at a coffee shop is like, when a random person at a coffee shop is like, are you Candid Soph?
Oh,
it's like, oh, it's like a little local feeling.
Yes.
And it just feels like it's such a small world. And that's honestly some proud moments is when people are like, come up to you and they say they appreciate you. And
I just feel heard.
Yeah.
I just feel heard. We're not doing this for any attention. We're doing this because we genuinely have stuff to say and we want to normalize conversations. Like that's what it always comes back to. And give love to people that need the love right now, give things that we needed back when we were a little bit younger, or right now in the moment, or maybe a week ago. Like, we just are here to help, like, genuinely help people, entertain people, and be real as fuck. And that's it. That's literally it.
Period. Also, proudest moment was this past weekend.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Kristen Green workout.
This past weekend.
We might as well talk about it because if you were not there, you did not hear, we posted everywhere, so you probably heard or saw. We did a Straight Candid workout at Crispin Green, Minneapolis. Marcus was there. He was video recording. He was getting people on the mic, which is something exciting that'll come at the end of this episode as a surprise.
Very soon.
But we got, I don't even know where to start. 100+ people came, which is absolutely insanity. We were in the parking lot. The best part about this story is we're about to start this fucking workout, okay? We are so excited. We prepped. We got outfits from Amazon. I ordered them. They're orange. We're ready to go. We wake up. We go there. We're getting the workout set up.
We wake up. We
put
take
the
a nice
outfit
little
on.
shit. We had some coffee.
Because we were like, I have to poop because I'm nervous.
Yeah.
No, we get there and we're starting. Stop. We're starting. And this woman, obviously, you know her name. She comes up and she's like, you can't be here. And I'm like, what?
After literally 100 people were yoga mats laid out in the parking lot.
I'm like,
she
what?
struts up to Syd and I. Her eyes, she also looked like
she was shaking.
She was shaking.
She was shaking.
She also looked like she was on some sort of stimulant.
Yes, a little bit.
Eyes
there was
wide.
Energy for sure.
You cannot be here. I own this property. You cannot be here.
I am on the board. I'm like, the fucking board for what? The parking lot?
And
honey,
when
sweetie.
Syd said we know her name, it's because we called her Karen.
She's
obviously.
a Karen. Are you kidding me? And then
sorry if your name's Karen.
Sorry, Karen's out there. But seriously.
This was like the Karen of the century.
She goes, you can't start the workout. And we're like, well, we were just told to show up and we got everything set up and where we're supposed to be. So you can't start the workout.
Yeah,
and you go, why don't you go talk to someone inside?
I acted like I didn't know why we were there. I'm like, I don't know why we're here. Like, we were told to just like sit here and like give a little workout. So yeah, you're just gonna have to.
Mind you, the beatbox, it was not loud. Like, it's not like it was like crazy blowing people's eardrums out of the water. Anyway, so she leaves. We start the workout. We're going. All of a sudden, we see flashing lights behind us. There's 2 cop cars,
and they take Syd and they handcuff her.
Me. Push me on the ground in front of everybody. Push me on the ground. And then I go, please help me, no. And they smack me across the face and say, quit it.
No, just kidding. But the cops did show up. And I wish we would have turned around and see if they would have like worked out with us.
I know. I'm like, give me a squad.
They literally were like, oh, these kids in the parking lot just trying to work on their physical health. Like, oh my God.
Trying to get those booty cheeks growing. God dang it. And this cops came. Anyway.
But long story short, y'all.
We had to cut the workout a little bit. But
cut the workout. We sold some hoodies, and if you didn't get your hoodie, we know y'all want your hoodies. Don't you worry.
It'll be live.
Syd's been killing it on our Shopify account lately. It looks really cute. So we're going to have that up very soon so you can purchase.
Today.
So today's Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It'll be today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
You can buy your hoodie. Link in bio.
That's exciting. Also, we did a cute little compilation of all the listeners who showed up on Saturday. So we're just gonna ding, 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 wrap that in there. And should we listen? Should we hear it?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Bring in the listeners, baby.
Thank you. Straight Candid. Yes, we love Straight Candid.
Syd and Soph are so candid, just out there, and you know that their episodes are real. They're talking about things that most other podcasts just avoid, especially like mental health.
Totally. And I feel like all the content is very relatable too. So just like listening about life struggles or just kind of like how to be a girl within this society, I feel like it's really helpful to listen to this podcast.
I think my favorite episode was the boat episode.
I'm going to say the vagina episode, definitely.
I think that's the top one. Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite episode is the vagina one, the vagina episode. I think that's a fan favorite between all of us.
I also definitely need another Dr. Sarah OBGYN episode for sure.
Yes,
if she's
bring her
watching.
back.
Yeah, bring her back.
I think it'd be awesome to hear from like a badass businesswoman of just like someone that's like super high up in the corporate world or something like that. I don't know. I just keep going with the relatable and like the type of topics that you like think that you're alone with. They really bring to life and show like, hey, we're all in this together. And I really like that.
I'm waiting for the dad's episode.
I don't know. I just want to keep it coming with whatever they got.
I mean, I'm just excited to watch them grow. Like even in the past, however many episodes this past year, we've really gotten to see them like form into a different person. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody is so ever changing.
Yeah.
Like I'm a different person I was a week ago than I am today. And I think I think that's what I'm most excited for, is not necessarily a certain episode or topic, but to just like watch them evolve.
Happy 1 year. Woohoo! Keep it candid.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I could cry.
I know. I'm like, why do people care about this that much? It's kind of scary.
I think we got to finish this out by sharing our all-time favorite listener Straight Candid moment who wrote
You
in.
guys ready? Ooh, it's so good.
I think this might have been the one that helped us hit the top 22. So
This
why it's a good one.
This is why we blew up on TikTok. Thanks for 100K. Okay, this one is called Poo Poo Boy, episode 19. Episode 19. I was sitting. Oh, for the love of Jesus! Can I just start?
She already fucks it
Dude,
up.
I can't read on mic. I don't know what it is. I can wing
Do
it,
you want
but I
me to
can't
do
read.
it?
No, I'm gonna try again.
Okay.
I'm ready. Sorry, I'm sweating. I was seeing this guy. Oh my God, shut the hell up. I was seeing this guy last year and we had only slept together a handful of times before this incident. Picture this. It's the morning after. I'm getting ready for work. And as we were making my bed, we noticed that he left 2 skid marks on my white sheets. And one mark was left where his booty cheeks were on the bed during this position. And the other mark was left where he was sitting on the edge after. The next time we slept together, it happened again, and I couldn't get over it, LOL. So I ended things slowly after because I got so grossed out by him. Has this happened to you before? Is this common?
And then you go, no.
I go, no, it's not common ever. And then she responded back and she says she now calls him the Poo Poo Boy. So that is my favorite one of all time.
Honestly, Poo Poo Boy, we love you.
Because
we love you.
what are you doing skidding your little booty cheek around the bed,
You know,
buddy?
the only time
Oh
that
my
I
God.
think shit is allowed in the bed on the sheets is if maybe kind of like the doo-doo stain one, which
Oh
was
my
in
God.
episode, I think it was
Doo-doo stain was... I'm looking.
episode 29.
29. Mhm.
I shared a Straight Candid moment where they were doing some booty things, you know, maybe a little anal play. Okay, sure, sometimes you get some feces. Just kidding. Nasty. Ew, I'm never saying that again.
I'm so scared.
But what I'm saying is, like, why are we having doo-doo stains when
Why are
he,
you skidding your
unless
butt around?
if she's not playing with his booty hole, we should not be needing doo-doo stains on the white sheets.
He literally held his cheeks apart and did it on purpose. My theory.
But the thing is, he did it twice. Like,
He
No,
held his cheeks out
he
and
did
did
it
it on
purpose.
purpose.
holding your cheeks out. Wait, can we talk about this for a second? Because you know what I'm gonna say.
I don't want to say
Me and Syd
it.
had the funniest conversation the other day, and I was like, we should talk about this on the podcast, but we're like, no,
I'm just always.
it's really embarrassing, but we have to because we're not the only girls that do
I know. Okay.
it. Okay,
Fine.
this is a candid take.
I always get roped in.
Okay, so do you want me to just break it to everyone?
Just go ahead. Give it to the world.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So sometimes when girls have to fart,
It's already too much. It's already like, damn
and
it.
you're with a guy, and you're like, oh, it's not gonna smell. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm sharing this. If you
pull your cheeks apart, it goes out without making a noise. Okay. There. And I
There.
think every person on here knows this and has done it. And I don't want to fucking hear that you haven't. Okay.
Yep.
And Jackson's not. He's like, yeah.
I was
I've
gonna
done
say,
it.
guys probably do it too, but you just spread the cheeks. No one hears it. It's
Break
safe.
the wrist, walk
But
away.
you can
break the
only
wrist, walk away.
break the wrist. But you can only do it if you know you're safe with the smell.
No, yeah, you got to be safe about that.
You know,
I
we ta-
apparently am always safe because I had COVID and I still can't smell toots. Doesn't make any sense. I know. Trust me. I think it's
Really?
fake. Jordan didn't believe me until literally we got into a room. It smelled like ass cheeks and I couldn't smell it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's
Until he
like,
farted-
you're actually not
Until
kidding.
he farted in your face. He's like, let me try.
Yeah. I'm like, rude. He actually did that the other day, which is actually
Okay, so
rude.
guys also spread their cheeks apart because we have our producers nodding.
They're
their
nodding.
heads.
They're like, yeah.
okay, Marcus is not. Jackson, don't you lie.
Sometimes you don't care, he says.
Well, yeah, but when you care and you're like newly dating someone, you can't let them know you fart.
And everybody does. And you know you do when you have to use the restroom. So come on.
I hope y'all made it to that part.
I hope
because
you
that
did
was
too.
great.
I have
Alright.
to say, I just want to take a second and thank every single person who's helped us get here, whether you work for the team, you know, I'm talking to Marcus, Jackson, Adam, Andrew,
Ellie.
Ellie, the whole crew, Declan, of course. Callan for helping us through a ton of shit, business shit, and all the above. And every single one of you listeners who have not only sent in candid stories, sent in vulnerable advice, sent in just your
spooky stories. I'm not
spooky
gonna lie,
stories,
we
send
literally
them.
already have a DM.
No
that
way.
Says, it says spooky story.
Oh my God.
So keep them
Spooky
going.
paranormal story. And just for being vulnerable along with us, without you guys, this would not be a podcast. Like without all the people listening, every single one of you, like you have no idea how appreciated you are and how many times we talk about you, and you probably don't know that, and that's probably creepy. Sorry about that. But we do, and we're fucking thankful. We've created a community and we hope to keep growing it. But this community is always going to be a safe space, and know that. Always.
So
Always.
if you are listening, like, help us out and maybe share the podcast with like 3 of your friends if you don't listen. Like
If
if
could.
everyone could just share 3 people, and just also send us like people you want to hear next on the podcast. I know we talked about it on Saturday, but we want to make sure that you guys are still getting what you want out of this podcast. So favorite episodes, or maybe something that you want us to talk about in the future, like please send us that advice or that that DM through our Straight Candid podcast on Instagram. And
Lastly, thank you.
yeah, thank
Seriously.
you. Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh,
you.
me?
You're like,
Aw,
who?
shucks.
Who?
Me?
Yeah,
No,
who? Me?
thank-
This whole thing?
And that's why I think this was a success,
Yeah.
is because we have more than one person that are like, we have to show up on Mondays. It's consistent. Like
Yep.
if I were to try to do this on my own, absolutely not. I need
wouldn't
you
be
there.
here.
I need you. I need every single one of you guys, because
Same.
we made it a consistent effort, and that's also a great piece of advice. Like if you want to start something, you just got to be consistent as fuck.
Yep. I will say 1 year down and many, many, many more to go.
Can we call them seasons? Like
season
two?
1 down, season 2. We're coming for your ears, starting with a spooky episode next week to celebrate Halloween and celebrate everything scary time. Send in your spooky stories.
Keep spreading
Share us
keep
if you
spreading
can.
those butt cheeks,
Just
y'all.
keep spreading those butt cheeks. And we love you guys, and we'll be back next week. Happy 1 year.
Happy 1 year.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Happy 1 year anniversary. Nuggy.
Oh, I'm so sweaty.
Yeah, it's hot
here for once.
It's hot in here, by the way. Did you like
how
it?
long was that?
50, a little.
Perfect.
Oh my God, I'm actually
I
sweating.
wanted it to be less than an hour for once. Oh wait, but we have to add the voice compilation.
That's okay.
That's right.
By the way, don't mean to be a turtle, but I have to leave very soon.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
fine.
realized it's 7. My right armpit sweats way more than my left. I just realized.
That's weird.
Is that weird? Hey,